Hey guys, it's Jimmy Bremner and Dexter the boy. CTOA Urban Trail on a very warm day. I believe there's a heat warning out for Toronto. But we've been in the shade. He's going to go down in that creek in a little bit, get cooled off. Today I got my Camelback, so we've got an extra couple liters of water for Dexter. And we're just out here. Well, I'm at the spot where we watch the hawks here today. I'm not seeing too many, but it's a beautiful spot. And yeah, it's pretty warm. But you know what? Once you're in the shade, there's a bit of a breeze, and it's really not that bad. So that said, I wanted to talk about footwear. I haven't really talked much about that. Some have asked, like, what do you wear? And I pretty much go through a number of different types of footwear. Obviously, suit and tie. Got my Oxfords on for that. Always wear shoes that have a lace on them because otherwise, it's easy to lose a shoe, especially if you're running or something like that. So we'll start out. So for sandals, I wear, these are Keen. Really good. I probably had these 3 or 4 years. And when you get a sandal, get one that has a toe, because your toes are really easy to get damaged, and that way it keeps it in. And this does have a lacing system, so you can tighten them up as required. So when I'm around the water, or I want to wade into the water, that's typically what I'll have on. Crocs are a cheap way to go, but they're not very much protection. And these are really good. They will mold to your foot. But that said, this heel portion, until you get used to it, you're going to have a blister back there, so you want to put some moleskin or duct tape or what have you back there to protect your Achilles tendon. Next, what I would wear typically is, this is a Merrell, very similar to Keen. Went all over Italy in these, and these are great, again, for that kind of urban trekking. You're in the city, you're in a park where most of the trails are groomed, and these are sufficient for that. You can do some running in them, but the sole's pretty hard. With that said, shoes like this, below the ankle, it's really easy to roll your ankle and get a mechanical injury, in my experience. So if I'm off a groomed trail, I'm going to a boot after that. So what boot would that be? Typically, these are a Bellevue boot. I've never had a better set of boots than these. These things are amazing, and they're probably 6-7 years old by now, and they're just wonderful. I've had them all over the world. The little trick I do is I get machine screws and I screw them in, and that gives me some extra traction, especially when you get around winter, or if you're like you're on a riverbank, you have that mossy material, mossy log. These are great. And again, they're light duty, right? They're mostly Cordura and that type of thing, with a suede lower on it. Something interesting, when you see boots like this or shoes like this, they're made offshore. It's my understanding we don't have the technology anymore to make this type of boot. So just a interesting thing. Now that said, what we do possess in Canada is the ability to still make this type of boot. So if I'm using I've got a heavy backpack on or something like that, I'm going to this Danner, again, this Canadian military issue boot. They're a little bit insulated, and once you get those things tightened up, man, you can carry a refrigerator around. They're really good, and you will not turn an ankle, roll an ankle in these, I guarantee it. So it all depends, again, on the terrain that you're going through, the weather conditions. Is the trail groomed? Is it not groomed? That said, when it comes right down to rain and muck and mud, I go back to the old standard rubber boot, right? So you can't beat those. And that's basically, you know, the footwear that I go through on a day-to-day. You know, and this truck always has, you know, some extra clothing and footwear for the trails. And again, I organize that based on the weather conditions and the terrain that I anticipate that I'm going to be on. So coming up in August, I'm going to be doing a couple overnights at a place called Milken up in Minden, which is a great range that's run by Keith and Linda Cunningham, Linda Miller and Keith Cunningham. And it's a great range up there, many acres to explore and patrol. So that's what I'll be doing for a couple of days coming up in August. Of course, Dexter will come with me. Again, I appreciate all the questions and things that come through. Trying to give you more content. We started with the boots. We're going to start working our way up into clothing. Your clothing's first line of defense against the weather. You know, Jimmy, do you wear shorts? Well, these particular pants can be made into shorts, but given my Irish heritage, I don't do really well in the sun. So I tend to keep my long pants on, you know, almost all of the time. Again, unless I'm wading in or going for a swim or something like that. You know, just, you know, for younger people, okay, if you look at the top of my head and my ears, that's all sun damage from being out on ranges for, like, you know, 30 years, right? And you don't think about it at the time. And my ears are ringing as we speak because I do have tinnitus, and that's also from being out on the range and explosives and that type of thing. And you know what? As you get older, you know, you got to pay back for all this stuff that you kind of neglected when you were younger. So if you're doing any of those things, make sure you've got your sunscreen on and you've got a hat and you're using the shade, you know, and all of those things, right? I'll end with this. Sunstroke, basically, you're dehydrated, you're going to get a pounding headache. You may throw up as a result of that headache. And again, you're not urinating, or if you do, it's like really dark yellow. That means you need water in you right away. So that said, Jimmy Bremner, Dexter, the boys over here looking for something. And again, like, subscribe, hit that bell, and comment, please. Thanks very much. CTOA Urban Trail, I'm out.